Hello, good afternoon. I'm glad to welcome all our Saudi American, which is, aims at strengthening the relationships between Moscow and Saudi Arabia and tourism. But before we start, a few technical moments, how to use translation. Let me share my screen. I will just show it to you, how it works. Just give me a second. Не могу включить экран. Где я могу? I hope you can see it. If that's all fine. So to use the simultaneous interpretation correctly, you need to press the button interpretation at the bottom of the screen and choose the language that you're comfortable with, like English. And I hope it worked out for everyone. I hope you managed to do that. I'll just give you a few seconds to set the interpretation. Okay. So today we're going to present what Moscow is now and what new tourism products we can offer now. But to create an atmosphere of today's Moscow, we'd like to share a little video to get to know what Moscow really is. Thank you so very much for the video. And before we start the official part, I would like to introduce our very honored guest for today, Ms. Anna Fonarkova, Head of International Division of Moscow City Tourism Committee, Mr. Muslimbay Raziev, Minister for Tourism of the Chechen Republic, Mr. Alexei Chibin, Director of Garden Hermitage, and Mr. Alexander Sisoyev, who is our expert in gastronomy. And now I would like to turn the floor over to Ms. Anna Fonarkova, who is Head of International Division of Moscow City Tourism Committee. Anna, please welcome.
Hello, dear friends and colleagues. Good afternoon. My name is Anna Fonarkova, as Olga just said, and I'm working for Moscow City Tourism Committee International Division. The committee oversees the issues of tourism activities in Moscow, creates an attractive image of our city, and our division is in charge of communicating with foreign authorities and attracting tourists from different countries. We're very pleased that Moscow's relations with the Arabian Gulf countries, especially with Saudi Arabia, are actively developing. Ongoing business contracts at different levels of interaction allow countries to jointly develop and share best practices. The tourism sector is really important and advanced, especially in connection with a number of changes caused by the pandemic. And I sincerely believe that cooperation between our regions will be fruitful, and I sincerely hope that our event will allow you to find new partners for future joint projects. I would like also to thank our partners, especially Minister for Tourism of Chechen Republic, Mr. Betaziev, for cooperation and support our event. Now I want to share my presentation with you. 1 second. Yeah, here it is. So now I want to show you Moscow as it is today, as I see it, and as I want you to see it with me. I hope I will inspire you with our city. We live in a new, rapidly changing times, and I would like to start with two issues that concern modern tourists: visas and safety. To apply for a tourist visa, the applicant must submit to the Russian consulate in Saudi Arabia with a package of documents: passport, completed visa application, 2 photos, tourist confirmation document, flight ticket, consular fee payment. But you can find all these documents on the consulate website. Tourist visas can be for single or double entries and valid for up to 30 days. Unfortunately, Russia has been temporarily put on the red list by Saudi Arabian authorities, but we very hope that but I very hope that in the very near future, tourists from Saudi Arabia will be able to visit Moscow. However, as soon as borders are open, tourists from Saudi Arabia will be able to get an electronic visa, which will be valid throughout the country. It can be ready in 4 business days after the application is submitted and costs $40. Regarding the safety issues, Moscow is successfully dealing with the pandemic. We follow both our national safety protocols and global safety standards. In Moscow, all cultural institutions, restaurants, and cafes are open to visitors. Concerts and exhibitions are being held. Masks are not required on the streets and in open public spaces. Tourists arriving in Moscow needs to provide the PCR test upon arrival. That was done no earlier than 72 hours before entering Russia. And Russia also has a digital assistant for planning trips around the country, Ruspass, that you see on the slide right now. This service was developed by Moscow city government. Using it, travelers can buy train or plane tickets, book a hotel room, or find a restaurant, buy tickets to a museum or concert. Partners from the tourism sector and hospitality industry of Moscow and all Russian regions are involved in cooperation with the service to provide users with a lot of options to choose from. This is one of the ways you can cooperate with Moscow to sell your joint tours with Moscow partners, for example, or to find out new sites or places for your tours. And now let's dive in the atmosphere of Moscow. Moscow has so many layers, and we Moscow residents and sometimes tourists in our own city love it for a special vibe that makes each day here bright, colorful, and not like only one. Not like any other, sorry. We value the historical and cultural heritage and happy to talk about it. We'll work a lot, but we certainly know how to spend our leisure time, and of course we love to eat. Today I would like to tell you how each Moscow guest can find something of their own in the capital of Russia and live here for a week or two like a local. Moscow is a tremendously attractive city that unites airs into a single whole. It will take a lot of time to find out what Moscow is, to go around all these alleys, to see museum treasures of the past, and to get acquainted with today's Moscow. Moscow is the city that has absorbed a lot of amazing, valuable, and technological sites. Moscow is the keeper of centuries-old history, and you can find it in Kremlin museums, for example, that you see on the slide as well, or, for example, in Moscow Underground, which will definitely take a break away. Moscow is one of the leading modern metropolises of our time, and we can keep up with the technology, and you can check it out with our AR excursions. And to get to know the capital better, start with its history. Of course, for many tourists, the main point of attraction is the center of Moscow, a lively, active, 24/7 passing with events filled with history. But sometimes guests, as guests of the capital, like us, Moscovites, want to slow down, to be with themselves and with the nature. Moscow parks are a great opportunity for creativity and contemplation for both adults and children. Beautifully landscaped parks are not only just about nature, but also about a wide range of sports, educational and cultural activities, and events for every taste and age. We'll have a presentation of one of the gardens located in the center of the city, and I'm sure my colleague will tell you more about it. We know that travelers from the Middle East often come with families and with children, from toddlers to teens. And Moscow is big and fast, but Moscow is not only a city for successful and always in a hurry grown-ups. It's also for young, curious travelers. And as always, all the best for them. Attractions in Moscow parks, entertainment complexes, an ice cream factory on the highest observation desk in Europe, that is 327 meters high, interactive excursion programs, and much more. Moscow offers so many different ways to spend your free time, and I will show you a few examples. And since we have started talking about bird's eye views, then you probably understand that the sky in Russia is not a limit for us. Russia is the space power, and Moscow provides many opportunities for everyone to explore the vastness of the universe. Adults and children can study all the details of preparing for a flight in the space, learn about the life of spacemen in orbit, and discover unknown worlds in the new space pavilion at Vdenkha Park and the Museum of Cosmonautics. You can continue your acquaintance with space in the Star City in Moscow region, where real cosmonauts are trained. If space seems too distant for you, but the sky still attracts you, you can have an opportunity to see the whole city sitting in the passenger seat of the helicopter or plane, or riding over the Moskva River in one of the cable car cabins overlooking the greenery of Sparrow Hills and endless Moscow in the sunshine. How to spend your days in Moscow is up to you. We understand that guests from GCC countries are used to high standards of their lifestyle, so Moscow surely can offer it. Let us imagine one of the days like this in Moscow. Maybe you want to go to the horse races in the morning and see some beautiful stallions in the Moscow Hippodrome. Play golf after the lunch on one of the best courses in Moscow with bright green lawns and high-quality service. And then for the evening, you can schedule a trip on one of the cruise ships sailing along the Moskva River at the sunset, for example, or attend a ballet or opera and watch the talented artists from Bolshoi Theatre Box on one of the world's greatest stages. I think it sounds really good. So dear friends, I hope I managed to inspire you by our city. Finally, I would like to add a few more details about Moscow. For most of us, Moscow is filled with new emotions, new impressions, and opens up to those who carefully examine this colorful piece. I think that getting to know New city should never be tiresome, and I'm sure that in any trip you have to find some me time. And in our city, it means seeing a different side, relaxed, unhurried, hedonistic. Moscow is a true gastronomic adventure, cool shopping locations, and the most exquisite shoppers, and plenty of places where you can take care of yourself. And I would also like to announce that in the fall, we expect Michelin's arrival in Moscow and the release of legendary guide. We will become even more attractive for foodies and hedonists. So the last slide is about our website, Discover Moscow, where you can find something more informative, maybe more detailed, and to inspire more with our city. So my colleagues will tell you more about interesting shopping, green sports in Moscow, and our regional cooperation. Thank you so much, and thank you for your attention, and welcome to Moscow.
Yes, Anna, thank you so much for your very inspiring and beautiful presentation of Moscow. I'm sure that every one of us has found something new, something unique about Moscow. And we truly hope that we will resume traveling between Saudi Arabia and Moscow very, very soon, and the restrictions will be lifted like as soon as possible. And I would like to announce the next speaker, Mr. Alexey Chibin, who is the director of Garden Hermitage. Mr. Alexey, the floor is all yours. Welcome.
Dear colleagues and partners, good morning. Thank you very much for your participation. The Hermitage Garden for decades has been one of the most favorite places for recreation. And even though Moscow has many parks, even though some recreational spots are attractive because they have a lot of offer in terms of services of entertainment, but people still come to Karetny Rad, where this garden is located. Moscow Hermitage Garden is the cultural heritage site located in the city center at the Karetny Rad. Its area is almost 5 hectares, and greeneries and flower beds take over 50% of its territory. In the 19th century, there was such a large demand for horse carriages, so this whole street was developed. And this is where garden was eventually developed, and it was called Heritage. Heritage is a place of solitude, translated from French. So that was amusement, a garden, a park with coffee spots and pavilions. This year we celebrated 127th anniversary of this place. We have 3 theaters on our territory called New Opera, Sphere, and Hermitage. In the year of 2000, 2 sculptures were of Victor Hugo and Dante Alighieri. And then a new monument was installed, an old electric lamppost that dates back to the 19th century, and a large silver heart was installed, which is a monument to those who are in love. Then 2 monuments to busts to Russian composers Tchaikovsky and Glinka were installed. And we started to renovate our territory several years ago. Large-scale operations were done in terms of landscaping and improving our territory. Over 2 million people visit our garden. Admission is free. So what is the attraction of our garden? It's located in the very center of a large city. It's a quiet, comfortable place where you can have a quiet moment. You can also visit shows in one of the three theaters, and there's some other cultural events that take place in the garden on a regular basis. It's very beautiful and very green and lush. Hermitage actively works with charitable foundations. We have social-oriented activities and festivals. In the summer, we have tennis tables installed, and we have a summer movie theater. So it's a large scale and very unusual room for spectators with cushions on the ground. In the winter time, we have two skating rinks, one with artificial ice covering of about 1,000 square meters and a natural ice covering of 4,000 square meters. Both skating rinks have locker rooms and have cafes. And annually, we have also various free-of-charge activities, Zumba, Pilates, modern dances, jazz, salsa, rock and roll dances, and also some historic dances or traditional dances are also offered. So also we have painting classes, both for adults and children. So we have children clubs, various groups, and daily care groups as well. Even though the territory is relatively small, this garden has a great balance of recreation and solitude and quiet, as well as being a place of attraction and activities. You can find something interesting for yourself or visit an interesting event. Thank you very much for your attention.
Mr. Alexey, thank you so very much for your presentation. And I think it's so great that in Moscow we can see, like, right in the center, such beautiful parks when you can rest and you can have some me time. It's so great. And I would like to present the next speaker, who is Mr. Alexander Sysoev, our gastronomy expert. Mr. Alexander, the floor is all yours. Please welcome.
Good afternoon, dear friends. I will speak in Russian, чтобы не упустить ни одну из деталей.
Not to miss any details, I will speak in Russian. I would like to tell you about how much our city has changed over the last few years in terms of gastronomic services and design of its restaurants. And I will tell you about some of the most interesting places to visit for you as a traveler. So here on this slide, so the first restaurant is a Greek cuisine restaurant called Eva. If you like Gaia restaurants, it's located in Dubai. You may enjoy it as well. It's modern Greek cuisine. So it has great design, great atmosphere, great cocktail card, and great service. As many say, those who have visited that, Greek cuisine is better there than in Greece. On the next slide, you can see Gentle, which is a city cafe. You can find something similar in Hong Kong, Singapore, or any other major city. It's most Instagrammable food. It's daily food. But also you can get some great views of the city from its windows. You can see venture investors next door at the next table. Then next one is Koji. This is a Pan-Asian aesthetic. How it found its place in Moscow. On one of the floors, you can have parties. They're very similar to the atmosphere of Hong Kong, of those bars. On upper floors, you have bars. You have seafood, Asian Pan-Asian cuisine techniques. On the next slide, you have Nikki, which is a restaurant. This is a great example of Russian cuisine. that has gone through all the recent trends. You can have Stroganoff style T-bone, Kiev style perch, lots of garnishes using Russian specialties. So, as if the last Tsar of Russia, Nicholas II, were still alive today, and this is what he would eat if he were alive today. So, great bourgeois atmosphere. So, Nikki is the name that comes after the name of Nicholas II. Next one is Semifreddo. It's an Italian restaurant, and Italians consider it to be the best Italian restaurant in the world. Classical bourgeois design, great, perhaps the best pasta you can ever taste in your life, and it's not an exaggeration. On the next slide, we have Chef, which is another project. This is not exactly the picture that comes from this place, but it's a Turkish cuisine restaurant. So the chef was a student of Nusret, so you can get perfect kebabs, medallions, so a lot of halal dishes. So which one might be appropriate for gas for Saudi Arabia? So this is the last place I wanted to recommend. Of course, there are many more, which are part of Discover Moscow and which are also on our website. So you can have a great gastronomic adventure and experience when you visit Moscow. Thank you.
Mr. Alexander, thank you so much. It was very lovely, and I think all of us wants to go to these restaurants, like right now, visit Moscow and go to these restaurants. And I would like to announce the last speaker, but most certainly not the least, Mr. Muslim Bayraziyev, Minister for Tourism of the Chechen Republic. Mr. Bayraziyev, please, the floor is all yours. Welcome.
Ассаламу алейкум ва рахматуллахи ва баракатуху. Добрый день, уважаемые коллеги.
Good afternoon, dear colleagues. I'm very happy to welcome you here. I'm in Moscow today. I have a large presentation to show. I would like to put it on the screen, and we will start. Let's start by stating that the tourist slogan of the Chechen Republic is the land of heroes. If you look at the history of the development of modern Chechnya, it is clear that it is a land of many thousands of heroes who fought for their independence and freedom, and who fought for development and creation. And this is what the Chechen Republic is now. The Grozny city is the capital of Chechnya. Unfortunately, the city was completely destroyed during 2 military campaigns. It was the most destroyed city of Europe since World War II. Grozny city, besides domestic flights, we have direct flights from Dubai once a week, from Istanbul and Antalya. From Moscow, we have 5 flights per day. The capital was founded in 1818 and now is one of the most beautiful cities of Northern Caucasus. We have 2 5-star hotels in the city of Grozny. These are the only 5 5-star hotels in Northern Caucasus. If we talk about tourism, about our tour guides, they talk about Grozny as a phoenix city, one that rose from the ashes. It's one of our attractions is a high-rise complex called Grozny City, located in the city center next to a mosque, a 45-story building that you see on the presentation. On the slide is the tallest building in Northern Caucasus. Here there is a hotel that I mentioned before, and also there's an observation deck with a great view of all of the city. Heart of Chechnya Mosque is not the largest mosque in the Chechen Republic. We have over 1,200 mosques, and the largest of them is called Prophet Muhammad Mosque. It is called in the town of Shali, and it can host 30,000 people. And Heart of Chechnya Mosque is one of the attractions of the city of Grozny. It can host 10,000 people. It was built by Turkish builders, and it has a very beautiful Oriental architecture to it. One of the most favorite destinations and geographic sites in Chechnya is Lake Kyzynoy Am, is the deepest and the largest lake in Northern Caucasus. At this lake, in the tourist cluster that has the same name, many activities are conducted of different types of sporting and gastronomic ones, because all the necessary infrastructure is in place. For tourists, we have hotels, we have zipline, we have various pavilions for barbecue, we have sporting facilities, etc. The Argun Gorge is one of the favorite destinations for our visitors. It's one of the longest gorges in Northern Caucasus, with a length of almost 120 kilometers, and throughout that gorge you will be able to find over 600 cultural heritage sites. So historic sites that date back to the 10th and 16th centuries. So you can see the City of the Dead, as we call it. It's an architectural monument with towers and also with tombs that date back to 12th and 14th centuries. So all-season tourist and recreation complex Veduchi, which is at a starting point by 2023, by that winter season, it should be put online. Then 16 kilometers of sea slopes will be operational, but now we have 1 kilometer of all-season ski slope. We have hotels, restaurants, and all the necessary infrastructure for all types of recreation throughout the year. There is Russian University of Special Forces, which is a unique place in the Russian Federation. This is where you can ride buggy chibord, which is specially produced for special forces in Russia. You can also fly in aerodynamic tube, and you can also go 3-hour shooting training program. These universities developed in such a way that those who are trained there, those who work in special forces, they never interact with tourists. The university is open for civilians. In Chechen Republic, we organize a lot of events, sporting events, gastronomic events, cultural events. I can highlight gastronomic festival Shashlik Mashlik. We have Benoyskaya Spring, Festival of Folk Art. We also City Day, which is celebrated on October the 5th, coffee festivals, etc. Our tourist operators offer various tours of the Chechen Republic from 1 day to several days. But to tell you the truth, I would probably consider 5 to 7 days is adequate to visit all the areas, all the destinations that I, of course, was not able to cover in this presentation. So thank you very much for your attention. I do hope that we'll be able to see you in our land, and welcome.
Mr. Baidazi, thank you so much. It was a very beautiful presentation. And I think many of us have rediscovered the region for themselves and will definitely visit it soon. And I would like to thank you all. The official part of our webinar is actually over, and it will be followed by B2B sessions. But before you go to talk to your partners, I would like to hand the floor over back to Anna to say a few words. Please, Anna, welcome.
Yeah, I just want to add some words, and thank you so much, Mr. Baidazi, for your presentation, and other colleagues for your participation and supporting us in our event. And so wish all of our business guests a very productive day today. So thank you and goodbye. See you.